Well, hello there, all the ships at sea out there all around the world. My name is Doug, and welcome to another Inkquiring Minds live stream. Yes, we are live. I hope we are live. I see some people on the chat already, some 15 people. And I want to make sure that my audio is working. So shout out to everybody. Please let me know if my audio is coming in. My audio here is peaking into almost into the red. So I'm maxed out with my audio. Excellent. I got a question about my audio stream recently, and I'll deal with that in a moment when we get to Doug's mailbag. And I think I have a solution for that viewer because they were having difficulty hearing me last time we were together, which was in September. It is October 2nd, 2024, and we have some new stuff happening. So I'm going to get to my agenda in a moment. Just want to welcome you all to the live stream and hope you're all doing well. Audio good, syncing not really. Yeah, well, I'm not syncing here either. My face is not lining up with what I'm saying. So lag is always an issue. We have 17 people here. What do you know? That's great. So we have to deal with the lag issues because that's the reality of the internet. I've got a very fast internet connection. I've got a very fast computer, and I've got everything as fast as it can go at this end except for my brain, which doesn't move so quickly. So I have to figure some of these things out. I must admit it's getting a little bit easier to do these live streams compared to the first time I did one, which was back in, well, almost couldn't be a year ago already. Was it last November I started doing this? I can't believe it's almost a year I've been doing this, and I still haven't figured it out. So anyway, incremental bits of improvement as I figure out this software. I'm using OBS to do my live streaming, and it is a steep learning curve, let's put it that way. And I've learned Photoshop, so it's a bit of a dog's breakfast when it comes to figuring out how this stuff works. One thing's working. You know, a lot of the things that really piss me off about technology, and I've been a computer nerd since the 80s. I go back to 8-inch floppy disks. That's how old I am. But one of the things that really pisses me off about computer technology like this is that it works sometimes, and then if you go like this, it doesn't work. And if you move your computer an inch to the left, it works again. So one of the things that has not worked since the beginning on this live stream is I can have right in front of me, a stream of the chat that's going on right now. It always says live chat will appear here. It never does. It never does. So I open on my second computer screen over here, a separate window that shows me the chat. So when I'm chatting with you guys, I'm looking over here at the chat on my other screen. But today, just now, the chat is right there. It's right in front of me. I can't believe it. I don't know what I did. I wish I did, because then I'd leave that on. I don't remember turning anything off. So, so there you go. It might just go away again. The other thing that comes and goes is these gestures. When I go thumbs up like this, hey, look, it's working today. It started working last time. I don't know why. I have no idea. So there's 26 of us already. Hello, welcome all of you who have just come in. I always feel like romper room here, and I need I think I'll get a hanger into a circle and do a romper room thing and say, I see Bill, and I see Dawn, and I see Juicy Louise, and I see Yori, and who else do I see? Christy W. I know that Oscar was the first in, and then followed quickly by Copper Plate from Germany. Oh, wait a minute. Copper Plate's not in Germany right now, are you? You're in Scotland. I know. I got a postcard from Scotland, from Edinburgh. So good luck to you in Scotland, home of my ancestors. So who else do I see? Oh, there's Name Like Nobody Else. Louisiana. Hello. You've sent me an email via Doug's mailbag, and you were the one that was concerned about the audio level. So please let me know, is your audio level better today? I've got everything maxed out. I've researched some technology discussions about why live streams are so low in volume when everything else is so high. Again, there's some voodoo there. And where are you again? Name Like Nobody Else. If you are on a Windows computer, one of the suggestions is that you go to your sound properties, click on the playback tab, and there's a checkbox for loudness equalization, which apparently should help with live streams to balance your audio. So there's a little suggestion for you that might help with the audio. Mine is maxed out. It's starting to redline at this point. So let me know, folks, if the audio is not coming through. I know it's lagged. I know that I'm out of sync. I got to stop looking at the screen because it's weird seeing my face not lining up with my speaking. Anyway, we need to get to what the agenda is for today's live stream. We'll talk about an hour and a half or so, depending on how long I can stay awake and stay coherent. That's the second part is more important, just staying coherent. So let's go to my agenda here and talk about what is going on in today's live stream, October 2024. First of all, we'll talk about what's new. There's a few new things in the pipeline. And then I'm going to give you a recap of my Pelican Hub, and maybe you can tell me, those of you that attended your Pelican Hub, where you were and how it went. We'll get to Doug's mailbag, and I have questions from a couple of viewers, which are very interesting. And then we'll look at your questions. We'll do a membership giveaway. I always put this on the agenda because I don't want to forget. I can give away 5 free memberships to my channel for 1 month. I can do that once a month. And then we'll talk about the next live stream, which will be November 2nd. So let's get back here. So what's new? Well, something new happened yesterday. And it was lucky too, because this delivery was not scheduled until Monday, but it came early thanks to DHL, which I call Deutsche Highway Larceny, because they tend to tack on $50, $60 just because. And I call it extortion fee because you want your package, pay me 50 bucks. But this one came with no extra charge, which is a surprise, because even if a company like Goldspot is sending me a pen for review, they send it at no charge to me, and I can give it away or whatever, but it comes to my door and they charge me 50 bucks, even though it was a gift. And sometimes they don't. So let's move to my desk here, and I'm going to show you. This is the first time I'm going to be doing this. This is a first for the Inkquiring Minds live stream. I'm going to do an unboxing live on camera for you right now because I got this package last night and I have not opened it. That's willpower, guys, willpower. I wanted so badly to see this pen. So we're going to move over to my desk and I'm going to show you. Hopefully my mic comes with me so you can hear. Here is my Deutsche Highway Larceny package. And here is a pair of scissors, and we're going to open this package right now without revealing my identity. I've got it the right way around here. Unboxing. I know what this is. You don't. Oh, the suspense is killing me. I should have music for this. Let me out, let me out. Throw that over the shoulder. And here is the box. You see what it is? It's a Bennu. But which Bennu is this? So before I open it, a little bit more suspense for you. I was contacted by, oh, now I'm going to get her name wrong. I'm going to call her Sylvana. It's not. It's something similar to that. At Bennu, and said they loved the video I did about a year ago of 3 Bennu pens. And I did that video of not my pens, but Janice's. Janice had bought 3 different Bennu pens and loaned them to me for review. That was very nice of her. And I reviewed those pens and gave them back to her. Well, then this Sylvana, I'm going to call her, from Bennu Pen, said they loved that video from a year ago. Would you be interested in reviewing something else? And gave me 3 choices. And Halloween is coming up. And they had a choice, which was, let's see if you can see this. Maybe you can't. Let's take it out of the sleeve here. Here's the Bennu box. And on the back it says, World Dracula Day. Now, World Dracula Day was back in May, and it's on the anniversary of the publication of Dracula by Bram Stoker. But this is going to be a Bennu review, once I see and reuse this pen, that I'm going to release just before Halloween. So the last Saturday before Halloween, I'm going to do the review on this World Dracula Day pen. It should make a noise, shouldn't it? It should make a noise when it opens up like that. I come with my own sound effects. And there's a cartridge. And there's the Bennu sleeve. And there's a pamphlet. And what we used to call Excelsior. When that was all wood shavings, back in old packages, that was called Excelsior. Learned something new today, didn't you? There we go. Bennu Product Information Lifetime Warranty. Okay, put that back in the box. And here's the pen. Drum roll, please. I can't get it open. There we go. Here we are. Wow. Look at that. He remains silent for the oohs and the ahs to come through. This is a Bennu faceted pen that is in red with red sparkles shot throughout the plastic resin, but it is hand painted. So every one of these Dracula pens is hand painted. So each one is slightly different, and that hand painted is under. Somehow it's inside. I don't know how they do that, but it's under the resin. So it's not on the surface. So that painting is not going to come off. But there's old Vlad the Impaler himself, smiling at you with his pointed teeth and amulet and bats and a castle in the background and a path up to Castle Dracula. Isn't that gorgeous? And does it unscrew? Yes, it unscrews. And here we have a Schmidt medium steel nib. And of course it's a cartridge pen with a converter, has a Schmidt converter, pull type, and a cartridge. So I'm looking forward to this. This is exciting. That's a really nice transparent red, almost crimson red on that pen. And it posts. I kept looking to see what model this is. Maybe some of you know what model this is. But it has a really nice tapering section. It's a bit long when it's posted, but that's perfect. That's perfect in the hand right there. I almost wish that Dracula's face lined up with the nib. No, it does not. Forgive me. This is the geek in me trying to figure this out. Maybe I can get the nib unit out and see how many start positions there are to it. Maybe we can get it to line up. No. So the way you would do this, if you are OCD like me, to get Dracula to line up, well, maybe. No, when he's in my hand, he's not facing me. I want Dracula looking at me while I'm writing blood letters. Start making suggestions for ink, folks. No, not an O-ring. Thanks, Bill. Good suggestion, but I don't think that would do it. What we do is we take a bit of rubber material and we pull that nib out, just like that. And then we line up Dracula's face with the nib and we put it back in again. So let's line that up. Talk amongst yourselves while I work with my pen here. Okay, so I'm going to line him up and put it back in. There we go. Easy peasy. Welcome to Doug's lab. What's on the slab in Doug's lab today? It's Dracula. Ha 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 ha. Welcome. Listen to them, children of the night. What music they make. That's gorgeous. I've spent way too long on that, but I'm excited because that's the first live unboxing I've ever done, folks. What do you think? No, they're not keyed. Bill just asked, those Schmidt nibs are not keyed. No, they're not. Some nibs are keyed into the nib unit so that they only go in one place. But yeah, you can pull that out and push it in any angle you want. Take that whichever way you want. That's what she said. Copperplate says, Pelican Ruby Red. Yes. I don't have any of that, but that's a beautiful color. I do have, let's turn around and find out. Yeah, I think what do you think? Diamine Oxblood. Because I'm not a bright red ink fan, because I don't tend to use it. If I was an accountant or something, I guess, especially an accountant on my accounts, I'd be using a lot of bright red. But I like the way that blood looks like when it's dried. And so I think Oxblood would be perfect on this pen. Harry says, Oxblood is a great ink, though I don't have a bottle of that yet. Yeah, what's the other one that people love from Diamine? Writer's Blood. That's the other one. I couldn't get that. When I was looking for Writer's Blood, I went down to my store, Reids, and I was looking for Writer's Blood, and they didn't have any, but they had this Oxblood, and it's really nice. Name like nobody else says, Diamine Red Dragon is a nice red, not too bright. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Let's run back here and see who I've missed. That's Serhat Akan. Hello from Turkey. As a fountain pen lover, I love your videos, Doug. Well, you can stay. Thank you. You can stay. You say things nice to me and you can stay. Otherwise, get out. Oscar Medina, hey Oscar, says Euphoria. That's a Euphoria. I have two, says Christy. Daniel Herman, hey Daniel, I'd like to see Robert Oster's Red Candy in it. I haven't used Robert Oster in a while. I've got quite a few bottles of Robert Oster. I should switch back and see what I've got. Juicy Louisy says, Writer blood is overrated. Oscar says, Diamine Matador. Bill finds writer's blood is too wet. Living Armor, hey, Diamine has so many colors it's hard to find some still in stock. Yeah, I just have to catch as catch can. I don't like buying ink through the mail, especially in the winter months. I like getting the ink from a brick and mortar store, so I go to Reids for all my inks. I have some new ink to talk about today as well. I actually, Santi P says, maybe Herbin Rouge Grenat. That's an excellent suggestion. I think I've got some of that somewhere. I don't use it much. Again, it's a really bright red. Okay, let's continue on with what's new. Move the Bennu to the side and the oxblood. And let's go back to my desk. And we're going to talk about this. This is a Platinum Curadas. And there, of course, is my Narwhal Eclipse. A lot of people complained that I didn't compare the Narwhal Eclipse to the Curadas. And it is actually the best comparison because the Curadas is the closest thing in terms of shape and operation to the Eclipse. But my reasoning for not doing that was that I didn't have one. I never had one. I never had the inclination to buy one. And when I went to the Pelican Hub, my friend Stephen handed me this as I walked in the door. He says, here's my Curadas, so you can do a comparison between the Eclipse and the Curadas. So I'm going to do that in about a week or so, I think, do a comparison between these two pens. I've just written with this just a little bit. He's had this for a while, and so the good thing is that it's showing some signs of how a Curadas actually wears. But I'll be interested in looking at the parts and features of that pen and comparing it to my Eclipse, which I'm getting more used to. So it's growing on me, this pen. It's a bit awkward, but like I said in my review, I really appreciate the feedback that I got from Narwhal on this. This is the one that they sent me for free. I gave away the Eclipse that Tom sent me from Goldspot to a viewer, but I kept this one, and they wrote me back after I sent them the link to the review and went on at length about all the things that they're looking forward to making adjustments to, and so they're really listening to their customers at Narwhal, and I think that's been a feature of that company since their inception, that they really do listen to customers. So look forward to that review. And this is interesting. I don't know whether John Summers is here or not. Has anybody seen John Summers in the list? I don't see him. But John Summers, I'm going to put this together. Shoot. Okay, we've had an inky accident here. This has been sitting in the light and the heat, and it burped on me. Just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. So, there we go. This pen here is, still cleaning up a mess here. Pardon my inky fingers. This is a Moore 94-4 in this beautiful striated acrylic gray and brown, and it has a broken lever on it, so it doesn't fill. I restored this pen for John I'm restoring a number of pens for John because he gave me this in exchange. This is a 1960 pen for men, Schaefer, and I restored this pen, and it is just gorgeous. And it was a Grail vintage pen for me, and he gave me that, and so in return I'm doing a few cleanup repairs on a couple of his fountain pens. This is one of them, the Moore. I did a review of this, not a review, a resurrection video on this, and trying to figure out how different ways to fill this pen. And I turned it into a coin filler. So you stick a coin in there and you can push that sack down. But we thought, well, if we had the actual part, we'd be able to replace the lever with, you know, exchanging one for the other. So he just yesterday or the day before sent me this. It's another Moore 94-4 fountain pen, but it doesn't have a cap, but it has a lever and it works. And I've been toying with the idea of taking that lever out and putting it in this one, but I've got a feeling I'll destroy both pens. So I think what we're landing on is that I just take this pen, we swap in the, it's still leaking on me. It's not a problem with the pen, it's a problem with me. And we just swap caps. And we end up with this beautiful pen that is fully functional, with the gray-brown cap and the brown, you know, there's ink in that cap now, that's why. But it'll end up looking like this. So that is something I'm going to look at for a Pen Resurrection Sunday, doing that swap and getting this pen writing again. Now that I'm covered in ink, we move on to the next one, which is, let's bring out the crab. Bring out the crab. There we go. This is a Parker 51 from 1947. It's a vacuumatic, and it was in pretty rough shape. And over the last week, I've restored it, but I've done a video which compares this pen. Where's my snake? There we go. This pen here with that one. And the difference is, other than depth, they're almost identical. This one here is Ronnie's 1954 Parker 51 Aerometric, and this one, whoops, stay on the snake, and this one is a vacuumatic. So a lot of people were asking questions about, well, what's the actual difference between the vacuumatic and the aerometric? So I'm doing a video that goes up, is it tomorrow? No, I've got another video. The one going up tomorrow is taking this aerometric and converting it from an aerometric into a cartridge converter using this brass adapter. It's an actual very easy swap to do. Well, you have to be able to heat the hood off and things like that and make some adjustments to the aerometric filler. But this makes this pen that much more usable. My friend Ron has arthritis in his fingers like I have. I'm beginning to get in my fingers as well. So filling a squeeze, where's my other one? I have a gray one around here somewhere. Not ready for prime time here, but there's a squeeze converter kind of a thing. Here it is. Here's the one. This is the aerometric filler from this pen here. And you press on that ribbed bar many, many, many times to fill the pen. And I consider this a real pain, especially when you're trying to clean these things. It's just, you can spend a whole day with tons and tons of water over your sink and just pump, pump, pump. And it's just a real pain to fill. Anyone who has difficulty with their hands putting this in some ink and then continuing to push it like that is going to be a problem. So now Ronnie can write with, this is his father's pen from 1954. He can write with his dad's pen again just by putting Parker modern cartridges into it. So I'm going to be presenting that to Ron in the original set. So this isn't a surprise if he's watching right now. This is a present to you that you're going to get tomorrow, Ron. There's the original set from 1954 that belonged to Dennis, Ron's dad. Beautiful gold-filled caps, burgundy bodies. It's a jotter, a fountain pen, and a pencil. In this beautiful case, I've been the custodian of this pen set for more than a year now. And it's going back to Ron, and hopefully he'll be able to write with it. But I also did a review of restoring this pen and comparing it with the Aerometric and talking about the advantages of a vacuumatic over an Aerometric, in my opinion. So that is going up in the next couple of weeks of Pen Resurrection Sundays. And also, this pen here, now that it's been restored, and it didn't have a blue diamond in it. Well, it had the blue diamond shape, but no paint. I've restored that as well. So this pen is now fully functional, full of ink, beautiful writer, and I'm selling it for $130 US. So if you're interested in this pen, you're getting a leg up on other people because this video doesn't go up for a week. But you can go to my Wix website and see more information about this pen and more photos and things, what it looked like before I started restoring it, what it looks like now. It's gorgeous. And if you're interested in purchasing it, just email me at inkquiringminds@gmail.com and let me know. $130 US plus shipping. There you go. I actually thought about keeping this pen, but it's an extra fine to fine. And I'm really more of a medium fan. So it's a beautiful pen I thought about keeping, but I'm going to sell it. And let's go back to my face for a second. There's nothing new on my face, but I have to make an announcement. This is also new, and this just happened this morning. I got an email from Joost Appelbaum asking me whether I'd be interested in hosting his podcast, Appelbaum Bites, again. And I will be doing that coming in December. I'm going to be in Florida for a week and a half or so at the end of October, so we can't film until I get back. So I'll be filming some of those episodes in November for the December podcast. And I think there's going to be like 5 episodes. And he's asked me for some people that we'd like to talk to. I remember the last time I did it, we had some really interesting people. We had Yana from Pelican. We had Marino, Nino Marino from Delta. He was terrific, from Naples. And we had Dante Del Vecchio from Penaider and Visconti. Had a really cool conversation. Well, it wasn't really a conversation. It was listening to a monologue from Dante, because he likes to talk. So if you have some suggestions for people that you'd like to see on the Appelbaum Bites podcast and see Joost and I interview, let me know, and I'll pass those suggestions on to Joost, because he's looking for suggestions for guests. I've already suggested the representative I was dealing with on the Bennu pen, from Bennu, that we speak to her about Bennu. And I suggested also someone from Diplomat, because I've got a Diplomat Viper coming, and it's a new model from Diplomat. It's going to Stephen Brown first in Red Deer, and then he's sending it to me for review afterwards. So I probably won't see it until the new year. But I did want to see someone from Diplomat, but he's actually having someone from Diplomat in the next couple of weeks, I think. on his podcast. So make some suggestions for people you'd like to talk to, and I'll pass those on. Let's catch up on some of our discussion here. While I've been blathering on, what have you been talking about? Daniel Herman says, Diamine is the only ink producer that ships to Switzerland with a reasonable shipping cost that I could find, so I get some of them direct. Yeah, that's the thing, is the shipping cost and the possible breakage, and especially when you live in a cold climate, not lately, but in a cold climate like Canada, you worry about freezing. Penexer says, I really like the Eclipse, but the drying out problem is frustrating. When I was reviewing this pen, I hadn't had it long enough to determine whether it dries out, but it does. This has been sitting for a couple of days now, and well, look at that. It writes first time. So, but I let it sit for about a week, and it hard started. I wasn't surprised. It didn't take much to get it started again, and that's not a knock on Eclipse or Narwhal, because they all seem to do that. These vanishing point retractable pens, they sit nib up in your pocket or whatever, and they don't seem to have the best sealing mechanisms, and so they tend to hard start. I don't know one that hasn't hard started, and we've got a Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo that's a beautiful pen, but it hard starts. Let's see. Juicy Louise says, my husband has helped himself to my Pilot Capless as an introduction to fountain pens. Well, that's a good way to start with an excellent pen like that. You know that now you have to share your pen budget with your husband. So that's the downside. David Narvaret says, that's me, love the pen. It too is growing on me. Thanks again, Doug. Yeah, you're welcome. Oscar says, I ordered a Pilot VP stub nib earlier this week using your Gold Spot link to my sub in on my Eclipse and Magellan 1 pens. Thank you for doing that, for using that that link in my descriptions. I'm going to answer a question on Mailbag about Gold Spot and my affiliate link. Juicy Louise says, should I also try a Mark Twain? I don't know. I would say a Mark Twain vintage pen. That's the Conklin crescent filler. If you have a vintage one that works, that might be nice. But Conklin isn't Conklin anymore, just to give you a heads up. Conklin isn't Conklin anymore, folks. So, I want to make sure I look nice on camera. There we go. I just picked up a Moore 94A at the Pelican Hub I attended. It's just beautiful, said BD. Yes, they are actually. The resin on them, I was really stunned by that striated vertical striped celluloid on this Moore, and both sides, the brown and the gray, are gorgeous, and so we get the best of both worlds. Beautiful, beautiful pen. I'd never heard of them before. And Hari says, agreed, aerometric fillers are too much work. I agree. I've sort of shied away from even restoring aerometrics because I just don't like them that much. It's exactly the same pen as a vacuumatic. The aerometric is slightly heavier because of the large steel sack protector. Same nibs and everything, same shape, but it's just that filling mechanism. And they say you can see through that PVC ink sac to be able to see your ink levels. Well, not after you've inked it once. That PVC gets stained over the years and you can't see through it anymore. But it does last forever. So this conversion, I think, is a real godsend. I sent for 3 more of those brass adapters. I got them on eBay, and they're like $16, $17 US each. Cheap. So I got 3 more, and I'm going to start looking at purchasing some aerometrics and doing the conversions on them and seeing how many people would be interested in seeing a restored or buying a restored aerometric with a cartridge converter adaptation done to it. We'll see. But it's a fun conversion, so that's why I'm doing that. Wendy Sue, hello Wendy Sue, says he should have a newbie to the fountain pen hobby as a guest. It would be a definite different perspective. That's an excellent idea. I'm writing Yost later on this afternoon because he's waiting for my answer. But I think I'll pass that on. Do we choose the newbie? Who is going to be the scapegoat to show up on Yost Applebaum's podcast knowing nothing about fountain pens? That would be fun. I don't know who would want to do that, but maybe we can find someone. Alexandru Bandui says, hi Doug, sorry to miss the beginning of the stream. Could you please let me know if the Wingsung 601 vac pump would be compatible to be transplanted into a vintage Parker 51? Thanks for the great vids. No, I've tried that. I've got a few of those. They're terrific, these plastic pumps that Wingsung makes for the 601. And I wish it was compatible with a genuine Parker 51 or Parker Vacuumatic pen, because it would save all the finicky bits of trying to re-diaphragm a Vacuumatic. It's a bit futzy and can go wrong so many different ways when you're restoring one of those. So putting a plastic pump in that can be replaceable for a couple of bucks would be fabulous. But no, it doesn't work. The threads are not the same, unfortunately. Maybe I should write to Wingsung and ask them to clone their 601 back to a 51 Vacuumatic and threads. That was a good question, thank you. I've had that question as well a couple of times from other users. Penexer, it's a little better with Private Reserve's Infinity inks, but even with that, it dries. Yeah, a wetter ink in your retractable pen will make it not hard start as much as a drier ink, like a Pelikan ink. Pelikan Edelstein inks are very dry. Prostu Bartek says, good evening from Europe. Hello there. What time is it in Europe? There's TJ Archivist. Good evening all. Please forgive my tardiness. Yes, well, you were marked late, TJ, so you're down 5 points. So you'll have to gain those back by being clever. We're waiting. Be clever, TJ, and get your 5 points back. I'm waiting. Prostu Bartek says, what do you think about long knife Hongdian nibs? Is it valuable? Yes. They are worth the money. What are they? 15, 18, 20 bucks each now? I don't know. The price keeps going up, but it's dirt cheap. They're standard number 6 size steel nibs and will fit anything a Yovo steel nib will fit, number 6. And they are terrific. I've got like 6 of them. Almost all of the Moonman pens, Moonman nibs that I've received, number 6, I've replaced with the what's it called now? It's gone out of my head. The Hongdian. Actually, I was thinking about something else. Sorry. The answer is yes, they're good. The Hongdian nibs, the long blade nibs, are very nice. They're architects. I was answering the question about the Kaigaloo. The Kaigaloo nibs are available on Etsy and on AliExpress for like $18 to $20 each. And I've got like 5 of those, and I just keep plugging them into various pens to turn them into de facto architects without a lot of fuss and muss. But the Hongdian version of those nibs, they aren't the same, but they're slightly different. The Hongdian long knife nibs are very, very nice. If you can get them as replacements, rather than having to buy the whole pen. You can use them in a lot of different pens. So Bill answered Alexander's question with exactly my same answer. Thanks, Bill. Daniel Herman, good evening from Switzerland. Where are you from? Talking to Pro Prustu Bartek. Talk amongst yourselves. I told you to. Bartek is from Poland. KWZ Ink Country. Isn't KWZ ink wonderful? I think the best thing about it, they're very saturated inks, but they smell like vanilla. I love it. Or they smell like chocolate. Wonderful inks. KWZ, or KWZ as we say here in Canada. Alexander says, thank you, Bill and Doug, for your feedback. Too bad. That means that I'll still need to hunt a restored vac. Parker 51 with a broader nib to suit my style. Yeah. Put a saved search into eBay for Parker Vacuumatic, and you'll get a daily list of all the ones that are going up. Unrestored, I wouldn't pay more than $60, $70 US for an unrestored Parker Vacuumatic, Parker 51 Vacuumatic, or Parker Vacuumatic, because you're going to have to sink like $100 into it to get it fixed. Bapaditya Dutta says, Kaigaloo nibs are very smooth with no feedback, especially the medium ones. I agree 100%. John DM says, could you please make a suggestion for an inexpensive, easy to maintain pen for shimmer inks? That's easy. Anything that has a broader nib, so inexpensive Chinese means that you're going to get a fine nib. Even the mediums, you can get mediums now, but even the mediums write sort of a 0.5 to 0.6 line, which isn't that broad. If you can find, maybe get yourself an inexpensive number 6 size steel nib Chinese pen and swap in a Yovo broad nib. That's the best thing for shimmer ink, is a broad nib. Anything that flows well, that has really good ink flow, and so broads do that, you'll get that effect on really good paper. You have to have it on some really good paper for it to dry more slowly, so it shows the shimmer and sheen. TJ says, I spilled a little KWZ sheen machine 2 days back. Took more than 24 hours to wash it off. This is not clever. No, I keep my sheen machine in a Ziploc bag just in case it randomly decides to explode, because that stuff is not toxic, but it's really saturated. Oh my God. And very sticky. So if you're using KWZ sheen machine in your pen, clean it out regularly, and by regularly I mean once a week. Write with it for a week and then just clean it out, and then refill it when you want to use it again, because don't keep that ink in a pen for any length of time. Okay, I'm just going to go back to my agenda here for a moment. Thank you all for your questions. I want to talk about the Pelican Hub next. Because I attended my Pelican Hub, was it last Friday night? Is it a week, 2 weeks ago? I think it was last Friday night, not yesterday, but the week before. And it was terrific here in Calgary. We had a huge turnout. I think there were 35 or 40 people there. And I took some pictures. So let's see if I can get back over here and show you some of my pictures that I showed. Let's go to my computer. And here we are at the Pelican Hub. The big dude in the center is our Grand Imperial Poobah Murray. who is the president of our Calgary Pen Club, and you see so many of his wonderful pens. And a good time was had by some, well, by all. They had the ink swatches laid out. This was generously hosted by RKR Stationers here in Calgary, and they opened their store on a day when they're closed. Here's a nice group shot. Half of the room wanted to be in the photo, half of the room did not. So these are the brave souls that got into the picture. But there's Murray there in the center, and there were a lot of giveaways, and there were some gifts, and a lot of people were, well, of course, got their swag. But the main center of attention was this table here where you could try out all the inks of the year for past years from Pelikan. I think I've got most of those inks for the last 5 anyway. So let's go back here and stop that noise. There we go. Let's go to the desk here again, and I'll show you my swag. This is what you got when you went to a Pelikan hub this year. Let's turn on the desk. You got a shiny object. You got this little pad of Pelikan paper, which has come in very handy. Just as I was running out of my 2023, I got the 2024, which was very nice. And you also got a bottle of the ink of the year from Pelikan Edelstein Ink of the Year Golden Lapis. Now, the inks of the year every year are interesting. There was one called the Golden Barrel a couple of years ago, a very interesting kind of specialty ink that you would use in special occasions on Christmas cards and things like that. Last year's was a rosy pink kind of thing that again, interesting sort of specialty inks. But this one is an ink that I'm going to actually be able to use. I got this when it first came out, so now I've got 2 of these. But I'm glad I've got 2 of them because I'm going to use this ink. It says golden on it, and that's a misnomer. It's blue. So this is the color of this ink. It's a beautiful teal kind of a blue with a golden shimmer to it. Let's open it up, Doug, and we can see the ink through the bottle. You can see that gold shimmer in that ink. Shake it up. And it's gorgeous. I just love this ink, and I've used it many, many times now. People are going to get bored of this. I like it as much as, it's like a Konpeki with a golden shimmer. So as an ink of the year, usually they're specialty kind of inks that you use once or twice and then put away. But this year, it's an ink that I think everybody can use. If you like shimmering inks, of course, and I do. I do like my shimmering inks. So let's go back here. And the other thing that happened at the Pelikan Hub for me was, of course, Stephen met me at the door. Thank you, Stephen, for your Curados. Put that in my hands. But the first thing that happens whenever I see my man Murray is he opens up his pen box and says, have you tried this one? Have you tried that? Have you reviewed this one yet? What about this one? And of course, he brought all of his Pelikans with him to the Pelikan Hub. And I'll set up my desk again to show you what I've got here from my man Murray. Let's go over and take a look. This is a pen from Pelikan from last year. This was a thing. This is a Pelikan M600, and it's a Glauco Cambon. Glauco Cambon was an artist back in the turn of the last century, and this is this beautiful pattern. I'm going to be doing this review in the next couple of weeks of this beautiful M600. And surprise, surprise, for a Murray pen, it has a fine nib on it. And by Pelikan standards, that means it's a medium nib, because Pelikans run one size thicker than what you expect. If you want a fine line, you buy an EF. If you want a medium line, you buy an F. If you want a broad line, you buy an M, and so on. But look at that pen. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful pen. So it's already inked up and ready to go. Of course, it's Murray's, so it's already inked up. But I was wondering whether this was transparent, whether you'd see your ink levels through there. It is not. But this pen came out last year, 2023, the M600 Glauco Gambon. And this is Glauco Gambon right here. Here's the artist. And I believe, once this changes, there. I believe this painting here is the inspiration for the Pelikan M800 Glauco Gambon. Let's go back to the desk again. And you might be able to see why I say that. It has that flaming kind of effect that you see in the sunset painting by Glauco Gambon right here. I think you see here in those clouds, it looks just like that pen. Well, the pen looks just like the painting. More like it. So anyway, there's another upcoming video that you can look forward to on my channel. Thank you, Murray, again for your generous loans of your pens for my channel. I know that a lot of people love to see his collection. So, the next up on my agenda is going to be, and where are you? There you are.
Doug's Mailbag.
Doug's Mailbag. Because I asked in advance if people had questions for me to send them in to inkquiringminds@gmail.com, and I will answer them for you. So I'm going to go to my computer here, and I got a couple of questions in advance, and one of those people, maybe both of them are here. I think William is here. And Name Like Nobody Else. Are you still here? Name Like Nobody Else? Put your hand up if you're here. Anyway, Madeline said, "Hey Doug, could you tell us more about how the affiliate links work and are people remembering to use them? Do you get stats? I used the Gold Spot one when I ordered a mystery dip box the other day. I also used it when I bought the Magna Carta 650, but it had that leaky nib and I sent it back. I'm wondering if you got anything for that. I used 600 plus reward points to get a discount on that, but when I returned it, they didn't give me my points back." Okay, sorry about that, Madeline. I'm going to do a little aside here just for Tom Odo. The rest of you just close your ears for a moment. Tom, you need to give Madeline her 600 points back. She used them on the Magna Carta 650, and she didn't get them back after she returned the pen. She got her money back, I believe, but she didn't get her points back. So please give Madeline her points back. There. Now the rest of you can listen. I've just sent a private note to Tom Odo at Gold Spot Pens to try to make things right for Madeline. Thank you, Madeline, for that question. How does my affiliate link work? It doesn't work too well. No, it looks like it doesn't work. And I've got a little brackets in the description that says, yeah, it actually does work. But when you use the link from my description and you go to Gold Spot Pens and then you check out and buy something, I figured it out the other day because it's a very minuscule amount of money. I think I get 0.05% or something like that. Once I get to $100 of revenue from that affiliate link, Gold Spot sends me the $100. I've done that. I've been a Gold Spot affiliate for 2 years. I've been paid out once. So I think in a full year, I've made something like $60 or something like that. on that affiliate link. It's wonderful. You know, I don't do anything. I just put the link in. I used to promote it, but because it wasn't doing anything, I stopped promoting it. But it's just there. If you want to use it, it does support my channel. You spend a couple $100 and I get $1.75 or $5 or something like that. I very rarely check it because it is so little. And I think the one time I got something into my bank account and it was just from some name. It didn't say Gold Spot on it or anything. I had to go back and find out, where did I get this money? Why did I get this money? Oh, that's your affiliate link. Oh, well, thanks. Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea. Anyway, that's how it works. It does work. If you want to support my channel, go to Gold Spot. I do not, I promote Gold Spot as much as I promote Goulet pens and Applebaum and that kind of stuff. I don't work for them. So if Tom sends me a pen to review and it stinks, I'll say it stinks. He doesn't mind, he wants the review. And I was hesitant to say negative things about the Eclipse. This one actually came from Narwhal themselves, because they're such great people and they're working so hard, and here's an innovative design. So I'm hesitant to say negative things, but you know that when the company really cares about what they're doing, they're listening. And they're listening, they're trying to improve. And so, you know, I try to support people as much as possible. If someone is a blatant ripoff, they're trying to promote a product that is bogus, you know, I'll call them out. And I've had harsh words for some companies like Fountain Pen Revolution because I think they're disingenuous. And so that's where I get both of my barrels out and start firing. But generally, Gold Spot, Goulet pens, Applebaum, Van Ness. I've used all of these different vendors and I've purchased things in the past and they're all great. I just happen to have an affiliate link which they suggested I sign up for. And so that's how that works. Also, Madeline asked about my sound and said my sound on my live stream was very low. And there's name like nobody else. Yes, you're here. Great. I don't know whether you were here when I gave the answer about the sound properties, going to your Windows sound properties on your device and hitting the playback tab and checking the box that says loudness equalization. That might help you with your audio, but my audio is maxed out. I am right on the red line at this point, so I hope it's better today. Anyway, thank you for your question, Madeline. I appreciate that. And all of you, if you're interested in having me answer your question on the next live stream, just send it to me at inkquiringminds@gmail.com and I'll put it up in my Doug's mailbag. Just this morning, William sent me a note and he said, William said, "What do you think? How will consumer interest be sustained as enthusiasts realize they have more than enough writing instruments and bottles of ink? Many find they spend too much money and need to stop their accumulation." I think he's talking about himself here, maybe. How will the entry of new customers fill the gap? And will they be willing to spend $300 and up? Regards, William. And then he goes, P.S. My concerns are reflected somewhat in the fact that eBay has 170,000 plus fountain pens for sale. Okay, so big question. What will the fountain pen industry do when people realize they've spent enough money on the hobby? Let's think about this. Maybe William has gotten to that point where he feels he needs to put on the brakes. Be honest, William. Have you come to that place right now? Say, I'm spending too much. Or maybe your significant other is saying, how much did you spend on pens this month? Yes, we end up going down this rabbit hole and we spend a lot of money. But it's like anything. I think people get enthused about something and they want more. There are two kinds of fountain pen people. People that use their pens and want to use them and want to get different models and try them out and use them. Then there's collectors. People that like a whole set of things or a partial set or all this color or all that brand or all this model. So there's many types of different collectors on the market. But it seems to me that the fountain pen industry is expanding, not contracting. And Juicy Louise's just said, new people discover the hobby. Yes, that's true. And I think those people are getting excited as well. Now, I won't show his picture, but at the Pelican Hub, when I showed the photos, there was a 10-year-old guy. He was there with his dad and his sister. And his dad is a pen club member. And he came to last year's Pelican Hub. His name is Eric. I wonder if he's watching. Hi, Eric. And I gifted him a Hongdian D5, one of those big ornate gold and black. Beautiful pen, big heavy pen. And it's enormous in Eric's tiny hand. He was just over the moon with this pen. And he's collecting pens himself and learning to write with pens. Well, he showed up at the Pelican Hub again. And, hi, Eric, how are you? And he says, I said, do you have your D5? Oh, yeah, I have it right here. And he pulled it out and he starts writing with it. He says, I made my own ink. I said, did you? Yeah, I wanted an ink to match this beautiful gold and black Hongdian. And so I made, out of two different inks, a black and a gold shimmer, I made my own Eric black shimmering gold ink. And his dad was all beaming about Eric's invention of this gold shimmering ink. Good for you. That's the kind of thing that's happening. That people are getting interested in this because it's new. It's not something that's antique and out of the past because it's so far in the past now, fountain pens. If you grew up with fountain pens, you're my age now. And when I grew up and writing, ballpoints were the de rigueur of writing at the time, you know. So I grew up in the 60s and the 70s. But back in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, fountain pens were the thing. So young people today that are 10, 11, 15, 20, just discovering, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? So you go into some place and you pull out your fountain pen and you write with it, they always go, what the hell is that? Because it's so new, because it's so old, it's not part of their consciousness. So I think that whole part of the market is expanding, and collecting is expanding. So people that remember fountain pens, now that you're older in life and you're starting to slow down a little bit, you want to get out of the rat race, the digital era of keyboarding and text and fast communication, and you sit down and you spend your Sunday afternoon journaling. You get out your favorite fountain pen and you just write in the quiet, and you unwind and you de-stress. Fountain pen writing makes you slow down, makes you think, makes you relax, and lets your thought processes flow. No one needs to read it. It doesn't matter even if you write squigglies. The process of laying down ink with a fountain pen is so de-stressing, so stressless, so calming compared to scribbling with a ballpoint pen or even a roller ball. So I take exception to the fact that William's premise is that the market is shrinking. What are we going to do when people run out of money for these things? I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger. You're seeing more and more fountain pen companies pop up all over the place. You see more and more new models. So if you're done with your fountain pen collecting, because I just can't do it anymore, then Bennu comes out with a Dracula. Okay, I'll buy one more. I think that's what's going to happen. So that's my answer. I don't think the market is saturated at all. So let's see what William says. But do we have enough momentum for fountain pen companies to change hundreds of dollars of pens, to charge hundreds of dollars of pens with the very same guts? Well, Lamy has done it for decades with the Safari. Every fall they come out with 3 new colors, and they're very similar to last year's 3 new colors, and it's the same pen. And it hasn't changed since 1962 or whenever they made it. Same guts, same pen, same finish, just different colored dye in the plastic, injection molded plastic. And people go nuts for it. I've got to get the new Safari. Have you got the new Safari? I've got all 3 new colors. So I think that's where it goes. And William says, my questions are rhetorical. I'll wait for a few years until I can buy a Pelikan M800 or whatever Grail pen costs, like 75% of the retail price. I'll probably wait forever. I don't think you'll wait forever. Keep your eye on the, they might end up being very expensive because Pelikan has changed the M800 from the one I've got. Okay. Here's my favorite pen in my entire collection, and I have like 200, 300 pens now. I've lost count. This is my Pelikan M800. I bought it 3 years ago for my birthday. It's the one with the transparent, translucent barrel, ink view. Gorgeous pen. I think I paid like close to $800 Canadian for it, 650 in US, something like that. They're now more expensive than that, but they've turned that barrel down. The new ones are not transparent anymore. So I think that might drive the price up of some aftermarket versions. But keep an eye on eBay and see what you can get. Even get one that might be damaged or something like that, or not the right nib for you, and replace the nib. The pen is worth waiting for, very much so. And I don't say that about any other pen. Perhaps the E95S from Pilot would be the other recommendation, that you just have to have these 2 pens. Those are my 2 cents anyway. So thank you for that question, William. I really appreciate it. It spurs a lot of interesting dialogue and discussion. Let me know what you think, guys and girls, about the state of the fountain pen market. Is it shrinking or is it expanding? My guess is it's expanding. Bill Pemberton says, yes, it's an acquisition thing. Then you accidentally find you have parts of a collection, and then you want to complete the set. I'm not a completionist so much. I know some people that are obsessive completionists with comic books. Got to have the complete set. When it's not your thing, you go, that's really weird. But when it's your thing, you go, yeah, that's normal. I would want to complete that set of pens, but comic books, not so much. Bapaditya Dutta says, very true, Doug. Fountain pen makes you feel de-stressed and disengaging with the digital world. I think that's a lot of it now, that people discover it. They didn't know about it, and if someone puts one in their hand, it really is quite an eye-opening experience when you write with a smooth, wet fountain pen on really good paper. When you're so used to scratching into cheap paper with a ballpoint, and just the process of holding that pen is stressful. You're gripping it. But if you just take your fountain pen and hold it like a paintbrush, and you make these gorgeous lines of varying color ink that sheens and shimmers, you go, wow, look what I'm doing. I'm an artist. So Copperplate says, yes, E95 is gorgeous. I love mine. Yeah, very close to the top of my list. In fact, I use this. It's on my desk all the time. And writing my agenda for today is, and keeping it by me to make notes. It just writes. I can leave it sitting on my desk like this for days, weeks, and I open it up and it writes. And I don't know any other pen that just does that, just writes. Daniel Herman says, I just got myself a Pilot E95S, actually the Elite, bought in Japan in fine, and I agree, it writes fabulous. Yep. So the Elite is from the Japanese market. The E95S is for the Western market. Same pen. Oscar Medina says, most Pelican Hub posts on Reddit and Facebook stated that they had the largest showing ever this year. It looks like Doug is right in that the hobby is expanding. Well, of course I'm right. You know, I would admit if I was wrong, but I'm never wrong, so I'd never have to admit it. Thank you, Oscar, for that question. Namby says, I love my E95S, bought it after watching your review, got a medium nib, wonder what an F nib will be like. Well, they're juicy. For Asian nibs, Asian nibs tend to run one size smaller, thinner than the Western counterparts. This is a medium, and it's a Western medium. It writes Western. There, right there. It writes a 0.06 millimeter line, which is a Western medium. Whereas all of other Pilot's nibs tend to write like Eastern nibs. They write one size smaller than what their designation is. So a medium is more like a fine, but not in the E95S, in my experience. Living Armor says, Doug is one of the people expanding the hobby after all. Yeah, in responding to Oscar Medina. Well, again, I go back to when I started this channel 4 years ago. God, it's like been 4 years, 5 years, I don't know. I did a tiny review on a Jinhao X750 that I bought my daughter. I saw other pen reviews on YouTube, and I thought, I can do that, so I did it. And instead of getting the usual 10 views, I got like 200, 300 views overnight. What? There's actually other people out there that enjoy writing with fountain. Then I find there's a club. And then I find there's worldwide clubs. Holy moly, I had no idea. I'm still amazed that so many people are into this. Well, it is a hobby, I guess. I never thought that I would get into this hobby, but it sort of pulled me in. Enzo Siccia. Did I say that right, Enzo? Enzo Siccia. On Pelican M800, sometimes you find deals on older special editions. A couple of years ago, I found a deal on Pen Chalet. The pen was 40% off, plus I had a coupon for an additional 15%. Yes, those are the deals to pounce all over. So the pen was a little over 300 bucks. That's an, how long ago do you say that? A couple of years ago. $300 a couple of years ago? That's, wow, what a great deal on the Pelican M800. Whew. The best deal I ever had on a fountain pen online was for my Amber Karen. This is my Amber Waterman Karen. Gorgeous fountain pen. And a pen friend emailed me and said, go check Amazon right now, and gave me a link. And I went to the link, and on Amazon I got this pen for like $175 Canadian, which is about $150 American. This is a $300 plus pen. Excuse me. And I jumped all over it, but it was one particular seller, and it never was that price again, ever. I've got a second one, but I paid normal price for that one. Yeah, wicked cheap is right. And the device that I use to get deals like that, pardon me, need a little bit of PG tips because I'm talking so damn much. All right, so the tool that I use to get those deals and it's worked a couple of times for me. You have to be patient. It's called Camel, Camel, Camel. Just go to camelcamel.com and install the, what do you call them on Chrome? Extension. Install their extension. And whenever you go to Amazon, the extension in the upper right-hand corner of your screen of Camel, Camel, Camel shows you a graph of the prices that any item that you're looking at on Amazon has sold for over the last month or whatever. You can track it for a long, long time back. But there's a feature in there, you plug in a number that when that item hits that target, that it sends you an email. So I put in Karen, Waterman Karen fountain pen, and $175 or $200 or something like that. And once it ever gets to that point, it sends me an email. Right now, it's $200. You can go and buy it. Amazon sellers tend to raise their prices when they have stock, and as the stock runs out, I don't know the permutations of how all that works, but at certain points, they get to some really, really low prices, like they're trying to clear out at cost this batch of that item. And you buy it now because tomorrow it's back up to the regular price from the same vendor. So I don't know why that works, but it does. Camel, Camel, Camel. Daniel Herman says, I was lucky to run into Mont Blanc store and got the 146 rose gold for 40% off. First time I've seen Mont Blanc officially did 40% off. Huh. I didn't know Mont Blanc did discounts. I know that Mont Blanc does not even allow vendors like Applebaum to give their percentage off. So when you go to Applebaum and you use the code FRIEND, F-R-I-E-N-D, when you check out, you get 10% off. If you do a review of a product you purchased from them, all you have to do is, I love this pen, and it goes. They'll send you an email back with a code that gets you 15% off. So I've used that 15% off from Applebaum many times, and it just keeps rolling forward. I bought most of my Leonardos from Applebaum, and I use that 15% off code. And it gets me the price, it almost takes away the shipping costs, which is great. But if you buy a Mont Blanc from him, you can't use any of those codes because Mont Blanc won't allow him to discount. So it'd be interesting to find out what happened in that store for them to be allowed to give a discount. Maybe it was old stock that they needed to clear out. I don't know. I've never bought a Mont Blanc. I don't see one in my future. I just don't. Okay, so before we run out of time, it is 12:24 here, 11:24 on the West Coast. I want to see about giving 5 memberships away because we're at that point where I give 5 memberships away to my channel. And this is not just me doing it, this is YouTube. YouTube allows me as a creator to give away 5 free memberships on my channel a month. Actually, you can give away 10 a month, but only 5 at a time in a live event. And I only do 1 live event. So it's 5. It's membership time. Yes, you're correct, Harry. So I think I've gotten good at this. I go to my $sign. I go to memberships. Nope, I did it wrong. I go to my $sign. I go to membership gifting. Gift free of charge. You have 10 memberships to gift this month. Terms apply. Gift 5 right now. Are you all ready or are you all watching? I should actually go over and look to see how many people we have. We have 51 people here right now. 5 are going to be lucky new members of my channel. Let's go. Gift 5 right now. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Your gift has been announced in the live chat. GM was gifted a membership. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is the second time my daughter has won a membership. She's, oh, okay. Got my two fingers up, I get balloons. Congratulations to my daughter, Vampire Kitty, was gifted a second membership to her dad's channel. This is not an inside job, folks. I don't have any control over this. Hamster was gifted a membership. Brian B was gifted a membership. And Dawes22 was gifted a membership. Congratulations to all of you. Are you even watching, Heather? Is she there? For those of you who don't know, my daughter repairs musical instruments, and that's her job. And she's at her job right now working probably on soldering a flute back together again or something. And she has her earbuds in and she has her phone up on the desk, and she's watching her dad in the live stream. And now and then she says something, very rarely, but like in my second or my third live stream ever, or the second or third live stream I actually gifted memberships, she won a membership. So this is the second time, and I swear to God it's not rigged. But congratulations to all of you who won membership to my channel. That means that you have 1 month free, and you get all the perks of being a full member. That means you get all the cool emojis and badges, and you get the sneak peek unboxing videos that I post just for members only, and you get to see my videos immediately when I post them and not wait until the posting day. So you get to see them first. So those new members and you members who are there right now are going to see this Dracula pen review before Halloween, because I'm going to post this well before Halloween, because I'm going to be in Florida for the last couple of weeks of October, and I'm flying back like the day before Halloween itself. So my video on this pen will go up while I'm in Florida and enjoying Halloween in Florida. No, the video will go up before Halloween. So that membership that you get does not continue. It's only 1 month, and you can continue it if you want for either the 99-cent a month or the $5 a month level. Your choice. And I appreciate your support very much. Let's do one last scan of the channel to see what I missed. Bapadita Duta says, Doug, I've recently bought Asvine V200 with an Asvine medium nib. Excellent pen with very comfortable section and very smooth nib. Congratulations. The V200 is a very, very nice vacuum filler. Clear demonstrator vacuum filler. It's a bit chunky for my liking. I like the I like the Pen BBS 456 vacuum filler the best on my list. Daniel Herman says, it seems that this was a 40% on many products for a limited time in all their stores. Was just lucky. Yeah, sounds lucky to get that kind of a discount on a Mont Blanc. Excuse me. William says, I don't want to take money from an Oiler fan. Why? Shane says it's rigged. Yeah, I do like the balloons. This is a new one. I've not seen this one before. There it is. Look at that. I have to check out where the gestures are. So there we have thumbs up, like that. We have thumbs down. Is that going to work? Oh, there it goes, thumbs down. And then there's the jazz hands, devil's horns, whatever you want to call it. There you go. Nice to know all my gestures are working today. Name like nobody else says, she must ooze loyalty to keep winning. I don't know. It's a random thing. It's just really, really weird. Nepotism. Well, why not? Shane says the V200 comes in frosted black now with black trim. I have not, actually maybe I have seen that. It's like that, yeah, it's like the Pelican 823 kind of smoky gray black. Matte frosted black, yes. Okay, so what I need to do now is to remind you of, where's my agenda? Our next live stream will be November 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Set your calendars, set your clocks for November 2nd to join me again. And don't forget to email me at inkquiringminds@gmail.com with your questions in advance. I'll throw up a flag just to remind you before the November 2nd event. Fountain Pen Day coming up November 1st. Enzo Sitchia says, yes, that's interesting. November 1st, eh? I'm going to look at my calendar here just to see. So that's Fountain Pen Day, November 1st. And we're live on the 2nd. That means that the Fountain Pen Day sales will continue through that weekend. That's my experience. That, say for Applebaum, for example, the Fountain Pen Day discounts are the steepest at Applebaum that I've found on Fountain Pen Day. But they go from the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I can't remember, but I seem to think that I did a purchase live on a live stream, or got people to suggest what pen I should buy for Fountain Pen Day. And I did a purchase through Applebaum. Maybe that's what I should do, is I should buy something on November 2nd with you guys online, go through the process, and get you guys to vote for which pen or which model that I should buy. That's a good idea. It was the Supernova. Thank you for that. Who said that? It was the Supernova. Enzo. There's the Supernova. Isn't that a gorgeous pen in that amber color? Yeah, that was a happy purchase, and it has the ruthenium trim and nib. Beautiful pen. Always inked up with ancient copper. Excuse me, sorry. I think my vocal cords are running out of gas. So, just leaves me to say thank you very much, all of you, for joining me today on this live stream and listening to me blather on about our mutually shared hobby of fountain pens. It's a real fun time for me on these first Saturdays of every month, and I hope to see most of you, if not all of you, back again in November on the 2nd. And happy Fountain Pen Day at that time. So thanks for watching. I'll leave the stream going for you so you can finish your conversations, but it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. Bye-bye.